How's it going, guys? Back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the newest film I saw in theaters, I'm Still Here. Now, this is a film that is gathering a bunch of steam for the awards races. It's in the Best Picture category. It's also getting a Best Female Actress category. It's in the Best International Film category. I heard a lot of really good things about this movie, and I was just waiting for it to come out in theaters, and it's finally now just reaching us. And I'm really glad I got to check it out because I also got to see another film from Walter Salle's Central Station. And what's interesting about both of these movies, they're more personal stories, really rich and authentic with how they portray people and the troubles that they're going through, internally and their personal life struggles. And I think that's what makes these movies so interesting, is because they open up and let you explore the avenues of different cultures and the political turmoil that's happening in those countries. And obviously with Brazil in the 70s, I was not aware of the conflicts that took place there and the dictatorship. So definitely an interesting movie to watch, especially as you watch it and I was watching the movie and I was like, this just seems way too detailed and real, because I didn't know anything about it. And then as we keep going to the movie, I'm like, this has to be like based on a true story, and it is. This is a docudrama essentially about a family who loses their father, or I guess the Fernando Torres character, she loses her husband. One day, a group of people show up to the door and walk him out, and never to be seen again. And from there, it's a journey to find out why he was taken and if they're ever going to see this guy ever again. What's interesting about this film and Central Station is that both films about kids losing their father. With I'm Still Here, in the beginning we're mostly focused on the family and them just hanging out and just like enjoying their life. As the film progresses, we're jumping from time period to time period and traversing this family's trauma over the years. And that's what kept me engaged. Especially once we get to the third act where we get this emotional gut punch. I think that was, something that was building up through this entire movie, and that was very successful in hitting that note. Fernanda Torres, she is incredible in this movie. She is the life and soul of the film. She carries this film like she's carrying her family who is missing their father. There's such subtleties in her performance where the group of people show up to the door and they're walking her husband out the door, and she doesn't really say anything. It's just the smallest little gestures and frozen stares that tell you and paint you this picture of, well, this might be the last time I'm seeing this man, but it's like you can't do anything about it. You're in a really tough situation, and it's like, how do you move on from that? And it's interesting watching her character, because now that the father figure of the family is gone, she's also trying to downplay the events and not necessarily like immediately tell her kids. She doesn't want to worry her kids, and she doesn't want to rob their kids of their innocence and their childhood. And problem is, one day or another, they're going to start asking questions. But she is the new father figure of the family, and she has to be strong, and she has to be resilient, and she has to push forward. And this is a story about her. And of course, we need a really great central performance, and that is delivered by Fernanda Torres in this film. She is really great, and which is why going into this film, I thought Demi Moore, was my choice for Best Actress, but I would not be against Fernanda Torres winning Best Actress this year, because even though her performance is more subtle and quiet, there's just so much energy that resonates through her performance, through the small little gestures that she does. And Demi Moore, a little more over the top performance, a different performance altogether, but two really incredible performances. But Fernanda Torres, she really held this movie together and made me care about her and this family and getting justice. It's an important story to be told. It's deep, it's personal, it's moving. And while I don't think it's going to be like the Best Picture winner or anything, I am definitely happy that it was receiving the recognition and it was nominated for Best Picture, and even some of these other categories where they're getting attention. It's really good to see smaller films get that attention. And if you've seen I'm Still Here and you like it, do go check out Central Station, because I think that is even a more tighter and personal story. And those characters, I think, are even more interesting because it doesn't focus on the political side of things. It's more rooted in just like trauma and abandonment. And both movies really great, and for that reason, I'm going to be giving I'm Still Here a 4 out of 5 star rating. My only problems is the pacing, because for the most part the first and third acts are really great, and it's the second act that slows down tremendously, and that's where you feel that runtime. For a movie like this, where it's building a lot of tension and just anxiety at times, because you really feel for this family, for that second act to kind of slow down, didn't really work for me. I think the third act, it's able to pick up, and those last few minutes really hit home what it's trying to say. But its message is really what sticks, and it's something that it's going to linger with me. It's much like with Central Station. These are movies you watch once, and the messages they leave really do stick with you, and it's what makes you want to rewatch them. With that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscription bar down below to stay up to date with all the content that I post on this channel. And if you have any thoughts about this film or any Brazilian films in general, please do comment them down below. I'm always curious to check out new films, especially international films, because in America, it's sometimes harder to find this exposure to more international films. So it's always nice to get other people's recommendations. Currently, my favorite Brazilian film is City of God, so I have seen that film, and there is one other film that I'm saving for another video. It's for my Around the World in 100 Films challenge for Brazil. The challenge that I do for covering all the films around the world. Do stop by the channel, check them out if you got some time. With that, I'm going to leave my Letterboxd account down below if you want to check out some of my reviews for movies. I pretty much am on there all the time, reviewing everything I watch, so that is the best place to reach me. I will also leave the other links down below as well. And with that, I'm going to thank you guys once again for checking this video out. Thank you for your support, and I will see you guys in another video.